My third guy plays some games. All right, hi everybody, Weather Guy here, and we are back with some more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and we are getting to the conclusion of this first game. I think we are back at the docks to try to see if Susato's here after our final case. That took somewhat longer than I had anticipated. Susie's boat must be about to leave now. Hope y'all are doing great, by the way. I'm doing pretty good. I can't really complain. I just had some mashed potatoes, so things are going good. Mrs. Susato, where are you? There she is, over there. Creepily waiting on the docks. Over there, look. It looks like she's reading something. We still need to find out how she knew about the manuscript for Count of the Baskervilles. So maybe that's what we're finding out. And she's about to throw it in the water. Whatever that is. Mrs. Susato, wait, what are you doing? What good timing for us. Mr. Ryu, what are you doing here? Came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. Yeah, let's go. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. It is good. Great trial. Now we're gonna go today, I think, until we get to the end of this game. We're not gonna start on the next part of the Chronicles, so I don't know if it's gonna be a long time or a short time. We'll find out. Book you're about to throw into the sea. It was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now, so I was saying my final farewell. You're saying goodbye to law? You, Susato? Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Mr. Sato? And again, the peephole thing, if you don't remember, is she used the Cato doormatic thing to put a peephole in the door inside of the shop after the crime and stuff happened. And it ended up actually helping us out. But she's in trouble because she altered the scene of the crime. Deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. Dude, I can't believe I gave them like the same voices. How did you even come to have this, Susie? I bet she yanked it because whenever we all learned how to steal stuff from each other, remember? We all learned sleight of hand things from Gina. Probably it. On the evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? So the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Yep, easy to see where these are going. That was so much fun, I stole Runo's armband. Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me. Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flap-o-mat, so I put it up my sleeve. No way that fit up your sleeve. Really? And then I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Winterbank's shop with it later that night. I see. And then... yeah, those were the two Skulkin brothers. And then Ryu left, and that's when she put the cat flap door in. After Mr. Ryu left the shop, I started to think that door started to play on my mind. Storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. At that moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. That makes total sense. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So you used the cat flap-o-mat to make the peephole in the door. I was catching a photographic print of the shop by one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it was of the first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Ryu's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing. But when I looked through the hole in the door, The sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial that Magnus McGill did. I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then, a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windibank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime? That's right. Then I realized, yeah, it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have to be a way to see beyond the door. Yeah, we did end up using that fact to our advantage, the fact that somebody claimed to see something that is impossible for them to have seen. It was the blood splatter on the coat that Gina was wearing. For which a people would be the very thing. Only the people I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. The criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it? So is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the people to anyone, not even to the police. I know, and I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Rio was completely backed into a corner with no other possible means of escape. The truth about the people could save him. That was my plan. She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene. So Miss Sasato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake, and Miss Lestrade's. Sasato was a hero, dude. Miss Sasato... The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I had lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. The moment I allowed myself to think that, is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. Ah, makes sense. What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Brian is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that people as a way to implicate Gina. Besides, if the people inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mr. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life. So true. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Ryu, you've saved me too, from my regrets. Very nice. Very lovely. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. The revelation that the music box does contain secret messages, Mr. Ryu. What a triumph to work that out. I'm full of admiration. Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? There's a communications officer among the jury members, you see. A telegraph operator. She said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect, after all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. Cipher, I see. So then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you. Alright. What is this? A. So. G. What? She can decipher it? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Is that... Wait, Iris, what did you say? Isn't that his last name? Oh, I just said Sogi. Does that word mean something to you? Means something? Sogi was the name of my best friend. Yeah. How did you know that name, Iris? I wrote it down during the trial before when the message was playing on the music box. She transcribed it on the fly. She really is a genius. I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least. Oh, Japanese. It suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added a Morse code to use it in their own languages. I don't believe it. Are you saying... That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram, isn't it? You mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asogi? Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that? Mr. Sara, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Oh, this is interesting. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications. Is this game going to end on a loose end? On a plot hanger? On a cliffhanger? Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version. Be that as it may, Iris, show me the message, please. Come on, let's get this translated. Of course. Let's hear the translation. Come on. But what can this possibly mean? Whatever's in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes, it's made the color drain from Sato's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names? First is Kei Asogi, Kazuma. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? Second is A. Shin. Shin, I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gergson. Gregson. It would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. What's his name doing in a secret government communication as well? And the last name... You know what I bet? I bet all these names... Man, I'm going to feel like a fool after she says this last name. I bet all these names are names that are involved in the working together between the Japanese and the British governments, you know? And that's part of why Kazuma was coming to London. I bet that's part of it. What's the matter, Mr. Sato? It's just so strange. So unexpected. Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. Is it our name? Last name is J. Wilson. Oh, it's the professor, isn't it? What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy? That's right. Her dad was Watson, who was the one who died. It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. And after the 4 names it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. That's the end of the message, or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. Interesting. 2 of those people were killed. Just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susie and Runo come from. Oh, well, yeah, we haven't told her that he died. No, it's not very likely, really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with that surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them. We gotta tell the truth. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. Just can't. And again, he's like our Watson stand-in, right? That worked with Sholmes. This is so strange. Somehow in solving the case of Mr. Windibank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. Oh, what a great metaphor. I do wonder if perhaps It's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Yeah, this is very curious. Ship is leaving. Is Sasato going to end up staying? Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan. You're really going then, Susie? We wish you a safe passage, Miss Sasato. Oh man. Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Sad goodbyes. Miss Sasato, I had hoped to have you always at my side, to guide me and support me. Mr. Ryu, please come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. Oh man, she's gonna cry. I'm quite sure I'll be back before you know it. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris, I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. Promise? About your manuscript. Oh, here we go. We're gonna find this out too? This is great. Finally. Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Tell us. Tell us. Mr. Ryu. Yes? Do you remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. On the SS Buria, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe still half asleep. No, we met before that, didn't we? If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Sasato takedown. You know very well what I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma's great legacy. Sasato, my instincts were right. I really want to believe... No, I'm sure that... I'll be back soon. Very well until then. Oh no. Oh, that's goodbye. There they go. We got an actual scene here, don't we? Maybe not. Yeah, we do.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least. Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey.
That's nice.
Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
That's lovely.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Nice. That's the end? We might get some credits rolling too. Oh, there's more. Ah, yes, Mr. Ryu. Yes, Mr. Sholmes? I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh? Oh, yeah. It caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything and how it was all your fault. Huh? I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow, according to Miss Sasato, you love defending yourself in court. That's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. Oh no, we're in trouble. You really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See? Oh, brother. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, music died down. Uh-oh. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly, any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow. Oh yes, I love Runo's words, and I know just the one he'll use here. then I really must say,
Objection!
oh, what a fun end. Yeah, look at that. Yay, we did it. We have finished the first half of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is fantastic. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot, though it transpired I ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale with used by Mr. Sholem to solve an important case. And the money I've earned. Consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Lovely. I haven't slept a wink. The manuscript is due tomorrow now. Man, I'm really curious about how this all ends up tying together further in the next game. Very good. I probably won't be reading out all of their dialogue. You know, I'm just going to let it play and you can read it yourself if you want to. Mostly just going to be chilling. Oh, this guy, ouchie. He was so fun. I mean, he was a total jerk and a half, but he was fun. That's one of the issues with us moving away from Japan so quickly, is we never got to have any of these characters reoccur, you know. And the judge there was also pretty badass. Dun, dun, dun. One character I'm curious that only showed up once. Also, I wish he showed up more after the first couple cases. He was awesome. Oh, I love Soseki. He was so fun. I love doing his silly voice. He was so excessive. But I'm curious, the character that we never saw more of was the Shakespearean character that we had one scene of that lived in the same house as Soseki. I was very curious. I feel like Strongheart is going to become a more important character in the next game. Just got those vibes. We'll see. He has such gravitas, you know? And of course, we're going to have more Van Zeeks next game as well. He's a great antagonist, Van Zeeks. He's not necessarily evil, I don't think. But he's a great antagonist, you know, for someone else to butt heads with to prove our case. I really enjoy that. He takes our side when it's the right time to do so, it seems like, you know. Gregson, great, no nonsense, except whenever it came to Iris. Really loved that pose that he did right there with his hat to the side. So sick. A lot of great characters in this game. Who else we got? Yeah, we still haven't seen Van Zeeks yet for this either, for these ending credits. And we might still see Susato as well. Yeah. That's right, she's in jail. His wife is in jail for the accidental murder of someone. Throwing a knife out the window. That was a pretty fun case. I loved that one. I loved how hopeless that one seemed at times, you know, and the way the solution came about was beautiful. Good old Rolly. One of the more relatable characters. Perpetually tired, beholden to their love. You know. Very nice. What else we got? Gina, yeah. Yeah, she's in jail for a little while. But Gina was great. What a great arc she had, you know? She's one of the only characters that really feel like they evolved from the beginning of their appearance to the end, you know what I mean? Like, Ryu didn't change much. He got more confident, you know? But he's the only one that I can think of that really had any amount of change apart from Gina, who learned how to put trust in people, you know? Her cynicism died out a little bit, which was great. Beautiful to see. Oh, yeah. Nash and Ringo were hilarious. I'm glad they're all together. The three musky whatsits, of course. And again, we have a whole nother game of this to go, right? We have another maybe 45 or so episodes. So we're only halfway. And that makes me nervous, because that means the complexity will ramp up even further than it did towards the end. One thing I also really appreciate about this is that they didn't try to make a romance happen where it wasn't necessary, you know? Between Susato and Ryu. They just made it a really sweet, beautiful friendship thing, you know? Really nice. It's more like a loving brother and sister sort of thing. Especially when you consider the Susato takedowns. I think that's probably it. We're getting a little zoom in now. There's the gang. Lovely. Beautiful photo. What a sweet game. Alright, are we taking us back to the main menu? Or do we have more credits? What do we got? Oh. Kazuma. What is this? Oh, more. I do wish we had more voice acting in this game. You know? I would have loved for this to have been fully voice acted. Because, like, it has all these different characters that are voice acted, but you hardly ever hear them. Which is a shame. Again, we never found the deal with her, the villain from the first murder. She likely has something to do with the disc and the larger conspiracy. And it's worth noting that she was also sort of protected from all around, you know? Very curious. There's beef stroganoff with the snake. Hilarious. Love that. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. What does in between mean as far as credits go? I guess it's an animation thing, judging by what was on the bottom. Colors. This game really did a great job with... There wasn't a whole lot of animation, honestly. So it did a great job with using animation that was very expressive and enjoyable to look at, and that didn't really get old whenever it appeared multiple times. You know? Even for someone like Ryu, who had, you know, tons and tons of repeats in his animations, but they always felt pretty great. Dun, 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 dun. I love the way they're doing these credits as well. There's Strong Heart. There's the bailiffs. font design. That's pretty cool that they made their own font for this. Those are the witnesses from the omnibus trial. There's Butthole McGilded over there. Man, I so wanted him to be innocent for a while too. I felt so silly afterwards. And I was pretty surprised that Van Zieks didn't have anything to do with McGilded's murder. That was good. There was enough twists in here for sure to keep me guessing and made it fun. And the way everything tied back together towards the end of the game with the different cases, that felt really good. As I said this in a previous video, but early on when I was playing this game, I thought it might be too easy, right? I thought the storyline might be too simple, the case is too easy to guess what's going to happen, that sort of thing. And there were times when I was able to guess what was going to happen next, you know, and that sort of thing. But by the end, by this last case especially, things really got more complex because there were just so many different moving pieces involved, you know? And then dealing with some of these witnesses who just lie and lie and lie and lie, you know? It's tough to make a breakthrough. Can't believe Van Zieks just consistently put his foot on the counter. That was hilarious. I loved using that as a thumbnail. Little Gina. I love that we're getting a little crowd following us. Will Gina follow? Suppose not. Notice we're getting closer to the center of the screen when we're walking. I mean, I don't know why I'm telling you to notice. I don't think it's especially relevant. I'm just noting things that I'm seeing. I think that's about it. Do a bow, come on. Oh, that'll work anyway. Lovely. The Great Ace Attorney Adventures. So the next one is the Great Ace Attorney Adventures 2, the second part of the Chronicles. Lovely. Oh, look at this image. Fleeting farewell for completion of episode 5 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Nice. Lovely image there. Yeah, pretty chill time today, you know. One thing I love about this game also, when you boot it up, is the background on the menu screen is something like the current scene of whatever game you're playing. So if we hit continue, that leads us back where we started today. But if we go to select adventure, we can go to 2. See? Great departure. Speckled Band, Runaway Room, Clouded Kokoro, Hound of the Baskervilles. Yeah, unspeakable story. Lovely. And the Hound of the Baskervilles didn't end up having too much to do with it. That's very interesting. So next time we're going to start this one. The first adventure being the adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. Very curious who these two figures are. I'm going to have a guess that they're sisters of some kind, but I don't know. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. That's very curious. The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Oh, this is the big convention that they kept talking about during this game. Remember? We saw the flyer for it on the omnibus. So we may be getting that once we eventually get to episode 3. Episode 4 is Twisted Karma and His Last Bow. And the final is the Resolve of Ryu. The final chapter. Sick! Next time we're going to start diving into these. Feels great. Feels great. Feels good. Thank you all again so much for watching. Next time, once again, we're going to get into the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I had so much fun with this first game, and yeah. So this comes out Thursday, the 27th, and this first episode of Resolve 2 is going to come out on Saturday, the 1st of March. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Y'all are amazing. This game was a blast, and we're going to continue with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Make sure that you take care of yourselves. Make sure that you take care of others. And I will see you next time. Peace out.